you so much for joining us today for another episode of What's Your Why Wednesday. Today, I am joined by Brittany Molawka. She is the Director of Business Development at Moto Financial LLC. Brittany, thank you so much for joining us today. And let's jump right in. Most of us fell into the mortgage industry by accident, but we stayed in the mortgage industry because it's tied to our personal and professional why. So please share with us, what is your why?
You know, when I started talking to you about doing this, I've been thinking about it nonstop. Just why? Why do I do what I do? You know, I feel like the cliche answer is we do it for our families, right? You know, when we're growing up, we don't have things, and so you know, I grew up in a middle class, poorer type family, and I never really had that house and that dream, that family dream that a lot of people have. So my why really is just to give people that education and really help people understand it, whether it be my kids, my family, my friends. My why is really to just educate people on, you know, the different programs and the different things that you can do. And you don't have to necessarily have great credit to purchase a house. You don't have to have the 30% down or the 20% down. And, you know, that right there is my why. Just, you know, making sure that every single person that I come in contact with knows the misconceptions and knows that they can achieve, whether it be homeownership or they can help their family achieve homeownership. So my why is just helping everybody. I just want to help everyone understand how it works and make sure that everyone understands how mortgages work.
You know, it's so interesting to me, and I love that. Thank you for that. But it's so interesting to me that home ownership is something that, you know, you either grow up in a family that's just what it is, right? Okay, it's just expected. You graduate high school, you go to school, you get a job, and you save, and someday you'll have a house. And that could be, quote, normal for that person. But there's so many people that's never even thought of.
Yeah.
They grow up that, that's for other people. That's not for me. That's not for my family. That's not for my community, right? And there is such a lack of education to realize that people think you have to put 20% down, or people think your credit score has to be a 750, or people think that there's only, you know, conventional loan programs, right? There's not other options out there if you're self-employed, or if maybe your credit does need some additional help there. So you're right that in our society, it's something a lot of people don't speak about. It's kind of just depending on where you grow up or what family you're born into, whether or not it's achievable or not. So the fact that you're saying, hey, I recognize that we need to educate, we need to inform, we need to tell everyone that home ownership is not something that is just for some people, it's for all of America. It's just how you get there may be different than another.
Yeah. And, you know, honestly, that's just been like, I'm like screaming it from the rooftops, honestly,
Good.
No matter where I live, and just make sure that I tell everyone. I even started offering like free education classes just to people in the industry to be able to have them educate their family and friends. Cause I think that a lot of people get into this industry because of that reason. No one teaches it in high school. No one's saying, hey, here's how you buy a house, or here's how this stuff works. And so, you know, I feel like if I educate the loan officers and the processors, then they can go on and educate other people. And it's just like a trickle effect. And like you said, you know, no one's really showing it. And that's why I am here.
Yeah, it's so important. And keep yelling it from the rooftops, and keep putting it out on social media, and keep telling everyone you can, because why else would we continue to be in this industry, right? Because agreed, how we got here is all different, right? We all stumbled upon it. Somebody pulled us in, we accidentally rolled into it. But I always say that I don't think we found the mortgage industry. I think the industry found us. I almost think it's kind of like, all a little unique, right? Everyone in this industry is a little,
aren't we?
We'll use the word unique, right? We're all unique. But it takes a certain person, right, to keep up with rolling with the punches and always having this kind of sense of anxiety of, oh my God, we're on a deadline. We have to make this happen. But yet we also understand we're changing lives. We also understand that we're making generational wealth. We're building generational wealth for these people, right? So it is a responsibility for us to educate and to get out there and to share that. And that leads me to my next question. I mentioned that we're changing lives, and this is my most favorite question that I love to ask. Give me a story. We all have those stories, those special families that just have a place in our heart that we will always remember, whether it was yesterday or 10 years ago that it happened. Give me a story when you realized, wow, I impacted these people's lives and they'll forever be changed based on what I did for them. Give us one of those.
You know, I feel like I have one of those every month. You know, just being a processor or in this industry, I have been able to be on the personal side of it. Not to say anything about our loan officers, but the loan officers are there and they're selling the deal and they're trying to help. But the processors really being on the back end are the ones that are, you know, talking to the clients every single day saying, hey, I need your bank statements. Hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. And, you know, having those personal phone calls, those personal text messages. One time I was talking to a woman and she was going through a divorce. And she was a veteran, and I have a special place because I'm a veteran wife. And you know, she just was like, I can't believe I served my country, and I have 4 kids, and I now am going through this divorce, and I just don't know how I'm going to pick myself up and move on. And you know, I just kept reassuring her, like, listen, we're going to take care of you. We're going to take care of you. We always help our vets. But then I clicked, and I was like, you know what? I got to stop saying we always help our vets. Because it wasn't just about helping a vet. I'm helping a single mom who is trying to just get herself together. And being a mom who has, you know, my husband gone quite a bit as well. I was just like, you know what? You've been surviving all of this time, all of this stuff. You've survived a war zone. Put all of that stuff aside and just think about the night that you get into your house, and think about the night that you get to tuck your kids into bed and you get to tell them that you did it, and you did it without anybody else's help. And, you know, it ultimately, she had a lower credit score. So ultimately it was very hard for us. We had to jump through a lot of hoops, but we were able to not only get her, you know, zero down, all of her closing costs paid for. She walked away getting her earnest money back at the closing table.
Awesome.
And that earnest money she put into buying her kids this giant castle bed set. It was amazing. And, you know, she texted me afterwards and she said, you know, Brittany, I couldn't have made this jump without you. I really thought that I was going to lose this house. I really thought, and, you know, I'm going to get emotional. She said, I really, really thought that, you know, it wasn't going to work for me. I thought that my husband completely destroyed my credit. I thought that this, I thought that. And at the end of it, we went to lunch 30 days later, and she was able to buy the castle bed. She was able to take her kids to dinner. She was able to fill her fridge. And, you know, ultimately was able to become a different mom in a sense. And I think, being able to have that confidence to build the house, or to have that house there for her and do what she needed for her family, I think was what really touched me the most. You know, just these people, they go and they serve our country, and, you know, you just want to be there to help them. But it wasn't just about serving our country. It wasn't just about her being a single mom. It was like this whole package. And that was the moment that I realized that I wasn't just a processor. I wasn't just pushing paperwork. I was like a counselor. I was doing all of, I was like, this is way above my pay grade, but, you know, it really meant a lot to her.
You know what you were being? You were being compassionate.
Yeah.
You were showing empathy. You were supporting. You were guiding. You were all of those things. You were her guide into a whole new section of her life, because she's forever changed She's forever changed. All of a sudden, she's not that scared mom saying, I can't believe I got myself into this position. I can't believe my ex-husband put me here. Not anymore. That baggage was at the door, right? That was left at the door, because when she opened up that new section of life, she's a confident mom that did it herself, that had the support from you and your company and your team to be able to allow her to start the next section of her life. And that is the impact that we make in the mortgage and real estate industry.
Every day. I feel like there's tons of stories just like that. You know, there's people that they need that little bit of oomph and like you said, compassion from people like us, because if you don't have that, you're just another loan officer, you're just another person, and you're just another processor. And if you want to set yourself apart, you have to have that compassion there for other people. And that's in any industry, really, if you think about it. But I feel like in our job,
it's interesting. I equate us a lot of times to even the medical field. And the reason why I say the medical field is because think about, like, if you're sick or your child's sick, your parents are sick, right? We have no idea, right? We're not experts. We don't know anything about the medical field. And when we go to a professional, we're literally giving our everything over to this professional to help us, to make us feel better, to make our family feel better, to guide us, right? It's the same thing in our industry. When people are going through the largest purchase of their life, or they need restructuring with a cash out or whatever we're working on, they're not the experts. They're coming to us just like we go to the medical professional, and they're entrusting us. They are opening up their bank statements, their credit report, their employment, every single piece of them. They're opening up their divorce decrees to everything, right? And exposing themselves, the same as if we put on a gown at the hospital, right? And our behind is showing. They're doing the same thing on their financial side to us. They're exposing themselves. Now, we have a choice. We can just be, fill this out and move along. Next. We can be that. But no, that's not who we are. We are the compassionate, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, let's take a look and see how to make you be successful in this. So that's why I love doing this, Brittany. See, that's why What's Your Why is so important to me, because we're not just a rate or our service or our technology or even providing the funds. We're what you just said. We're the compassion, we're the guide, we're the counselor, we're all of those things. And that's why I love our industry so much. And now, last question. All right, so we know how it started. We know what you're working on now. What would you want your legacy to be? And that could be personal or professional. It doesn't have to tie to business, but how would you answer that question?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I actually I'm stumped. To be honest, this is like a very hard question because, as I said in the beginning, like I really had such a different childhood. I really never had like a mother to like guide me. And so legacy wise, I just want to be the mom who, was there for her kids. I just want to be the wife who was a loving wife throughout, through the rest of our days. But I also want to be the professional that is not just there for my company or whatever company I'm with. Yep. I want to be the person who's there for everyone in this entire community. I want to, if someone wants to get into the business, I want to help them. I want to point them in the right direction. I want to be the person who I don't even care about the profit side of it, to be honest. I don't, that's why I do a lot of what I do for free. I just want to be the person that's out there and, just saying, let me help you. Let me show you the right way. Let me continue to train you and make sure that you're able to be that compassionate person for X, Y, and Z people, So I think my legacy I really just want to be known as the person that was helpful and the person that was there for everybody.
I love that. And that is very, very special. And Brittany, that of course resonates with me because I feel very similar to that statement. And I say that I want to leave the mortgage business better than when I arrived. And I think you're thinking very similar to that, right? And that doesn't mean it was bad. It just means it can always be better, right?
Yeah.
We can always learn, we can always grow, and we can always connect more and be more compassionate and more helpful. And I thank you for that, because years ago, I don't know if it's just we're more connected now because of Zoom and social media and all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's just perception now. But years ago, I didn't feel that we were so welcome with sharing, and it wasn't received. It wasn't that we weren't giving, it wasn't received the same. But I think coming through COVID and now being on social more and us being digitally connected, I think people now, it's shifting to where it's almost odd for people not to help each other. It's actually like flipped. Like now it was a shock previously to have the help. Now it's almost, if you don't help, you're the outsider. You're the person that doesn't fit. And I'm actually happy about that, because I think our industry has really started to shift of, we are not a scarcity mindset. We are in an abundant mindset, and we can all win, and we can all support each other and celebrate each other when we do well, because someone doesn't have to lose in order for you to win.
Yeah.
I
100% agree.
Love, love, love it. Well, you keep being awesome. You keep being helpful. You keep guiding those families home and entrusting them and sharing your help out there. And Brittany is very good on social, and reach out to her in any way, Messenger, DM, definitely reach out to her. How else can people find you?
Actually, there's a Facebook page that we created about 2 years ago. It's jobs in the mortgage industry. And it's not just about being in there to find a job. It's actually a lot of training opportunities in there as well. So you can find me there. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on TikTok. Don't judge me about my TikToks though. I'm all over social media. People know where to find me if they want.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us, and we wish you all the best always.
Thank you.